Just quickly recapping what we saw on video from Saturday night. Again, we had opportunities, and you could see it on tape. Not just particularly the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, but throughout the game, there's opportunities there to make a difference and give those guys some credit at SC. They did some good things, but it's tough to win this league, and you got to be able to overcome some adversity and finish some things, and we weren't able to do that. Kind of still feel like what I told the team Saturday night is like we just didn't quite have enough to get over and past those guys. So, dude, I appreciate the effort that I saw on tape. I didn't think anyone was laying down in regards to that. Guys are playing with some great effort and competing. And so that leads us to another great opportunity this weekend against a program and really a coaching staff I got a great amount of respect for. Been able to compete against these guys the last few years. The way they do things, I think they're just disciplined, well coached, both sides of the ball, and have done a really good job for a long period of time. So it'll be a great challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it.
The fumble the other night, what exactly was the explanation from the official as far as, was the whistle just blown and then that's it? Because that's all I'm hearing right now is why didn't we get the scoop and score?
Right.
I'm sure it was the whistle, but.
Yeah, the whistle was blown. I mean, they called the ball carrier down, and they blew the whistle, and so when they blow the whistle, the play is over, and so they're not going to give you anything that happens after the whistle.
And then, do you even go to the Pac-12 at all and talk to them about, why don't you just let the play go?
Right.
Or is that just something that
it's not just particularly that play. We always get the opportunity to communicate with the Pac-12 after the games, and we send in different plays each week, really, to make sure we're interpreting it correctly, get an explanation for it, so we can properly coach our guys, and so that's no different this week.
One of your kind of mantras has been competing and then improving every week. We're now getting into November.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, what are you seeing that you've improved on, let's say, from a month ago?
Right.
Watching the game Saturday, what would you see?
I think there's just a couple stand out to me, like our outside linebacker position, being able to use the proper technique on holding the edge at times. We've improved there. Not 100%. We've drastically improved there on the edge. I think our ability in press coverage to be able to reroute the receiver has improved on the defensive side. Offensively, our ability to change plays at the line of scrimmage and get in the proper looks, that's gotten better. I think the receiver piece we've got guys that can play multiple positions, and we're doing more of that later in the year of guys not just strictly outside but inside, and so there's a bunch of improvement there. I'm pleased again with our ability on offense to take care of the football. That's shown up throughout the year as being something halfway decent, and again the other night we take care of the ball, and when you throw it almost 50 some odd times to have no turnovers, I think that's an improvement.
Coach, you mentioned the throwing that 50-some-odd times. Obviously, you and Brian Lindgren have kind of preached balance. Was that just kind of more game plan for what USC was able to take away to throw the ball so much? And kind of going off that, were you looking for the offensive line to perhaps improve and get a little better after not being able to give Jake a ton of time to throw on Saturday?
I think we didn't run the ball efficiently like we wanted to early on, and that led to more pass attempts. I do think it's one of our strengths offensively is to be able to throw the ball. We got some receivers that can make some plays. We had an accurate passer, so we were going to lend a little bit more there. We could always improve in regards to protection. A couple times they overloaded our protection. The ball needed to come out. We didn't get it out. And then there's other times where we're breaking down with some of their D-line movement. We got to do a better job of passing off line games.
How's Jake feeling after a full game?
Felt pretty solid. Yesterday moved around a little bit. I think he didn't take anything that should keep him out from Saturday.
And I believe this was the first game all year where you had one guy go from start to finish. How was that?
That was nice, and Jake did a lot of good things. I mean, you throw for that production, and I mean, especially at the end of the half, I thought that 2-minute drive the offense put together was impressive. Really got us back into the thing, being one score at halftime. So, it's nice to have your signal caller out there for 60 minutes.
The running game, it was kind of the first time you guys really had trouble running the ball. Was that mostly due to their personnel and what they were doing, or did you just not do something very well?
I think it's always kind of two ways. there, you could see it. There was an emphasis that they did not want us to be able to run the ball. I still thought we had more to us, even what they were doing up front in regards to low in the box, moving, being physical at the line of scrimmage. We had opportunities to do that better, and we didn't, and so that was disappointing. But again, there's some good coaches in this league. They're going to game plan people's strengths. We had shown on tape that we could run the ball, and they were going to do everything they could to take that away. I was pleased that in the third quarter we didn't just abandon the thing. We kept on attempting, and we got some more production there, but it wasn't nearly what we wanted.
Is Connor out of concussion protocol?
He is. Connor actually got cleared right before the game on Saturday.
So he would have been the backup then?
He was ready to go. We kind of like what we're getting done with Coletto a little bit in some unique situations, but we'll kind of see where that ends now, because he was so limited last week. He'll get a full week of practice this week and be able to see who's the backup.
And then I was going to ask about Coletto. Looked like you're kind of expanding a little bit expanding what he's doing now. I mean, can you see that quite a bit where you get the 3rd and 1, 4th and 2?
I think there's some advantages to having a quarterback that will run in those down and distances, but also like on the goal line. And Coletto's good at it. And so I can see us continuing to use that if we like the matchup offensively.
You talked a little bit about your linebackers already, but can you just talk about Hamka and how he did? He had a pretty big game for you guys.
Yeah, I think Ham's a guy who continues to work and improve, and it's not just on defense. He made some plays on special teams the last couple of weeks that have been huge for us, and the guy continues to develop. On the edge, doing some things. I think he's gotten a little bit better in pass rush. That makes a difference. And then I think it's important for our whole team to kind of see our guys that are starters on defense continue to work hard, but also be all in on special teams, and he's done that.
And then you went down to start the game, you come back, and it's neck and neck. How much did that change the momentum of the game?
When
they scored 14, and then the guys come back, and then you're just within one score.
Yeah, we kind of talk like we're going to be around the game. And we have in most games. We've been around it within a score in the second half. A break here or there, and I know a lot of talk about the fumble and whatnot. We still had the ball in the red zone, and we did nothing with it. And so we had an opportunity to change it there. We had opportunities to get off the field, and so I think this is a competitive group that is continuing to battle, and I think we're just learning and growing on how to get over the hump and finish some of this stuff. And we haven't been where we wanted to in most of these games.
Not sure what your numbers are over the year, but it seems like they're really low. And at one point in the game, I noticed there was just 2 penalties. And then there were a rash of penalties, right, when I looked at that stat. But you must be pleased. I mean, do you work on it in the respect of administrative penalties, the little things? Because there doesn't seem to be a lot, and turnovers as well.
Yeah, there's been I think that goes into our guys being focused and paying attention during practice and what they're getting coached. We're not into the unforced errors in regards to, like you're saying, procedure, delay a game, offsides, some of these things that's totally controllable, and we haven't been awful at it. There's going to be penalties in the game. This thing's physical. Guys are flying around. Things are going to happen, but I don't think it's been a huge hindrance to us. In regards to taking care of the ball, I'm pleased with kind of the total numbers after how we played 9 games. Where we're at there, I think we feel okay.
You dug yourself a hole against Colorado, came back, dug yourself a hole against USC, was right there. Are you worried that your guys may think that we're in these games that we dig a hole, dig ourselves a hole, we can do it? Is that kind of a bad habit to get into, or?
Well, we don't love it. I know that. And we talk about we don't need to get into a hole to start, but for whatever reason, and again, I go back, I don't think it's a lack of preparation, focus, effort, like through the week or what they're getting ready to the game. I mean, it's just something that we've had to deal with really most of the games. And so I am proud of the resiliency. 60 minutes of football, it's not talking about like being able to finish the last 15. It's being ready to go in the first 15 too.
Jonathan, the run defense has kind of been a bit of a struggle this year. This week, you play a team in Stanford that's, run first, wanting to run, kind of right at you. What kind of challenges a team that can bring in sometimes no wide receivers and all offensive linemen to kind of, run power eye right at you?
Yeah, it is a challenge. I mean, week in and week out, everybody is going to try to to establish some type of run game, look a little different different weeks. But these guys are known for that. They play a physical brand of football, and so that's what you got to look forward to, is another great challenge to get better at it and face a good opponent who likes to run the ball. I will say I think they are throwing it a little bit more than maybe normal in the years past, but because they got a good quarterback, he's a good player. So yeah, we're always looking ways to continue to improve and get that fixed.
On the kickoff return from Trevon, I kind of watched a little bit several times, but I didn't have the wide view. Could you tell that his little fake moved their guys at all, or would he have gone through there regardless of whether that fake was there?
No, the fake was a part of that. That was a design. Coach Cookus, I thought, did a great job. I mean, you could even see SC pointing, because we had Champ kind of hiding out again like we had thrown back before a couple weeks ago, and so they're pointing him out, and that took three guys with attention, and so that made a huge difference.
Okay, so you did see it, so there was, so that
Oh, yeah.
motion did do something there.
Yeah, I think the whole setup, along with the action fake, did draw some attention.
The two delay game penalties on defense, what did you see? What did you see there?
What
was explained to you, I guess?
Not a lot, and I thought it looked very similar to a couple of false starts.
And so, Nick, I'm gonna follow that if that's okay.
Yeah.
With respect to, you said you want to, look at penalties with respect to how you coach your guys up. So on the stemming, when they called you the exaggerated movement call, I've never heard that phrase before. I don't know if you had. I mean, it is generally speaking that usually not penalized.
I think there's been some inconsistency on how that's interpreted, and that's what, continue to get clarification week in and week out on a lot of different schemes. Yeah.
But stemming, a lot of teams do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we've seen it, and both. And it's a good scheme. I mean, you don't want to just stay in the same defensive front the whole time without the ability to change that front. Just like offenses change the formation from 2x2 to 3x1. I mean, that takes place on both sides.
Noah Tongiai, coach, on the drive where he had caught the pass on the out and then the touchdown.
Yeah.
It looks like some of the athleticism may be kind of coming back to it.
It's getting closer. I still don't think that's 100%, but I do appreciate that guy because he's not been 100%, and he's continued to battle out there. It's a big time play for the touchdown and on the earlier catch, and so I think that's got another guy who's been battling through some things and continues to improve, continues to accept the role of being physical in the run game. So we've liked his progression.
What did you see when Jamar had 5 carries for 45 yards in that flurry in the third quarter where it looked like you had stuff going on at the line of scrimmage and you hit some stuff in the run game?
Yeah, I think some of that is coming out of the half of, we had thrown it a bunch, and so they were going to begin to try to take that away in the past game. Changed the tempo a little bit on a couple of those calls, and so sometimes the run game takes a minute to get going. Those are body blows. Yeah, they're not long gains, but you just got to keep on working at it, and I think it paid dividends on a couple of those carries.
Stanford, you've obviously played there a few times over your career. Is there anything unusual about playing at Stanford? I don't know about unusual. I think it's a good setting. It's a nice new stadium. They refurbished, 6 years ago or something. It's not the most energetic crowd, compared to some of the other places we'll be at. And it's grass, but nothing really standing out. I think Riley Sharp played Saturday. It was the first time he played. Is it likely that anybody else is going to play first time these last 3 games?
I think there's a chance. I don't think 100%, but there's a chance you might see a little Levengood, Jake Levengood, true freshman old lineman that hasn't played quite yet. You might see a little bit of Irish in the next 3 games because he's played in 2, still shooting to redshirt him. Same thing we're doing with Riley.
And Morris,
it's doubtful. I mean, the guy's working at it, but he's not quite there to be able to feel like you put him out there in a position where he can succeed. Not obviously injury prevention, but also just a limited amount of reps. He hasn't.
Not doing anything really.
Not yet.
So,
Not yet.
So pretty unlikely.
Very unlikely. Yeah.
So, Jonathan, sorry, just following up on that. When you I mean, unlikely. Are you ready to confirm that he might be out for the season, or still kind of waiting to see on those last 3 weeks?
Yeah, I can't confirm he's out for the year because the way he's been continuing to work, I just don't see him being ready here in 4 days to get on the airplane.
And then secondly, you kind of already mentioned Jake. Was there anyone else from that USC game that maybe got out of there with an injury? You're concerned about this next weekend?
I don't think we had anyone got an injury that should be out for Saturday. I'll have a better idea on Thursday on how this week of practice goes, but.